Broadcasting live from Subbasement 27, deep in the heart of the Hypercube, the super core of fun entertainment. It's time for the show. I'm your host, Dr. Fox, ever cheerful and hopeful as ever as I'll ever be. You know, and it wouldn't be a stick up my ass without Reverend Peas. Say hi, Peas. Well, we've got a great show for you tonight. We've got a lot lined up for you. A lot of funny bits that we've written down. We're going to go by the script. Definitely going to go by the script. And who knows? Maybe even talk to somebody. But probably not. No, you know, that all of that sounds incredibly stupid and like a gigantic waste of time. I don't want to do that. You know what? Let's not do any of that. That's just dumb. All right, scratch it. Who's here for show? Raise your hand. You wanted show. You thought you could handle it. You thought you could come in here, just walk in off the street. Thought you knew what was going on. Thought you were a big, strong guy. Thought you were flexing. Well, I'll tell you, buddy. What you haven't learned is that you haven't learned anything. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're never going to get it. If you're thinking about getting it, you need to stop, because that is the entire philosophy behind what we are moving forwards tonight, is making sure that you get that you're not supposed to. That would be just too easy. It's like I hear like an owl. Anybody hear like an owl with the hiccups? Like years away from here, more than yards, but years away. I don't know. I'm just up in arms because this entire situation that we've been dealing with. And you know what I'm talking about, this gigantic cover-up where everybody's being told to stay inside, watch the screens for more information, wait for something to happen. You're going to get just a little bit more in every day. And, you know, the statistics are there. The numbers, they're not in your favor. You're not only going to be, you know, a prime statistic. You're going to be far past that. You're going to be an algorithm. Peas, you know, we had this problem earlier where I couldn't hear Peas. And so
can you hear me now?
But now I can hear you. And I didn't do anything. So I fixed it. We don't have to do the on-air sound check anymore, everybody.
It's possible that I thought that the leader bumper was going to be longer than it was, and I just sat down.
Where'd you sit down at? You didn't sit down in front of your radio and computer?
No, I did in my command chair here in the West Coast regional office for Hypercube Go Laboratories.com.
Oh, speaking of, that was where I was going. We've been furloughed, Peas. Hypercube has been deemed a non-essential service by the federal government. The
That's
man's
outrageous.
trying to keeping us down. We're not going to get any of that sweet corporate bailout money. What are we going to do, Peas? I'm going to have to lay you off.
Well, no, they can only bail out the rich.
Peas, I'm worried that you're not going to fill out your forms correctly, and that we're going to end up costing millions of dollars in undeveloped research. Are you on top of this? What's our contingency plan? How are we going to outride this one, Peas?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You didn't like spend all those years of formative training and logistics and development and all of that development? Come on, Peas. You're in Las Vegas. Developing is what you're good at.
Oh man, I've been
Development capital of the world. Of California.
Not so much now. Everything is closed down. I had to buy liquor from the grocery store because the liquor stores are closed.
Which liquor store do you usually go to? Do you go to the one with the bars on the doors or the bars on the windows?
I could go to Lee's Liquor. Lee is a nice Korean man that's opened a chain of liquor stores here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's quite the funny little gentleman with his commercials and his savoir-faire
Commercials?
attitude.
Where do you see these commercials or do you hear these commercials?
Well, I do both when I'm doing it right.
Are you going to do a commercial for Lee's?
Yeah. I was told that, he does it with an Asian accent, but it's okay because he's Korean.
Well, Peas, I spent the last 2 days editing one episode of Time for the Show, and I'm glad to say that, you know what? You're not as racist as I made you out to be to everyone else. And I think you're doing a good job. I think you do a really good job, a handsome job at curbing, potentially, warding off our fans and listeners from around the globe, because you work that silver tongue of yours around everybody's little ethnic dialect diatribes, mononucleosis, monosodium glutamate. But yeah, you're doing pretty good. I was impressed. I was downright shocked and appalled by some of the things other people that have been on Time for the Show have said. Incriminating things that not only will make them sound like terrible monsters forever, but then I am by association because I didn't bleep it out, I left it in there so people could be offended by it. How dare me? How dare me? If you go to Germany, do you think they give you a cup full of hot piss or cold piss?
Well, I think whether it be hot or cold piss, I'm sure that they video you drinking it so they can sell it for German porn later.
That's every
Germans
security
seem
camera
to
in
really-
every German McDonald's then.
Yeah. I feel like the Germans are as a society, very fixated on piss porn.
You feel like the Germans are fixated with piss porn? With water sports?
Yes, I think
It's
so.
not water, though. It's urine. I don't get why they...
That's why the Soviets supposedly have some dirt on Trump, because he's actually German. His real name is Trump, and so of course
German
it would
Trump.
lead naturally to the fact that being of that descent, he would have an affinity for women pissing on him.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, like you just said, it's a national pastime.
Correct.
It's heritage, not hate, Peas. It's heritage. Now give this woman $20 and lie down. Do you think he'd lie down or stand up?
I think it would make it difficult for the girls to control their streams if you were standing up.
I mean, well, they stand on something, you know?
And I personally feel that if you're only getting, like, if you're standing up and you're only getting peed on from, like, the waist down, I'm not sure that should cost as much as a full body pee.
What if how much would it cost? You put the pan down, you put the pan down, put the pie pan down, and now, lady, pee into the pie pan. How much for lady to pee into the pie pan, Peas?
Well, I think that's only worth about $6.75.
Is that like Las Vegas $6.75? Is that how you get me into a room? Is that you get a tack a resort fee onto that? That sounds like a bargain, Peas. $6.75 for pee on the pie pan, Peas.
I don't think there's that much work involved in convincing the woman to do that.
You don't think that there is a lot of work involved in convincing a woman to pee into the pie pan? Peas.
Right, because she's going to need to pee eventually. And that pee on the regular market is going to be worth really $0.
That's regular pee.
But if she finds an opportunity to pee in a pan, and she's going to pee anyway, I think, first of all, it eases up finding a woman that will do that. And then it's like, well, there's nothing really sexual about that.
Okay,
is
that the easy part or the hard part? Finding a woman to do that.
No, I think you can find a lot of women who pee normally, and would prefer to be paid to pee.
Okay, so we'll start with
where the line is drawn is they may not necessarily want to pee on people, but to pee in a pan,
that the lady will pee into the pie pan.
That's no different than peeing in a toilet, except...
It's not different than peeing into the toilet. Peeing into the pie pan?
I don't feel so.
Do you have a pie pan?
Years ago, we all peed in pans.
For pleasure or sport or what? Just to
out
do
of necessity.
Out of necessity. If out of necessity, do you need to pee into the pan?
There was only pans to pee in.
Yep, there were only human toilets.
There was only pans that they would pee into.
But now listen,
a pie pan.
All that being said, we've established a baseline price of $6.75 just to pee in a pan. But now, if the
sounds like a bargain to me,
wants to do something with that pee in the pan, then those are add-on charges. Like after you pee in the pan, I get to pick up the pan and dump it over my head. That's extra $4.
No. After that, no. You've acquired the pee. You own the peas. Peas. Once they pee into the pie pan, you are the proprietor of the peas.
Well, then perhaps we should work out some kind of
If you propose to the lady that you believe is so preposterously easy to find at the bargain rate of $6.75 to pee into the pie pan, Peas, after that $6.75, the pee in the pie pan, Peas, is now mine. That is my pee,
Unless you rented the pan from the eventual user of the pee. So then you couldn't use the pee without...
now I'm the middleman on the pee on the pie pan?
No, I'm just trying to help.
So who's the recipient?
Let's take a step back. Let's take a step back.
RE:PP pie pan.
We have at least 1.75 female listeners across the entire globe. Let's ask them, maybe we won't find out this show, but let's throw it out there. How much would it cost, or would you be willing to pee in a pan for $6.75? And then we can ask some sub-questions. Would it make you feel dirty? Do you not think is it an opportunity
If
to
we
turn
had
your
the
pee
ability
into a
to ask
revenue
the
stream?
audience anything, we would have had a completely different show 2.5 years
You like that
ago.
RC23?
But right now, we
powerful
kind of
revenue
only
stream.
have us.
That
This
was
is
pretty
it.
good, wasn't
It's
it,
you and
buddy?
me, Peas. How much would I have to pay you to pee into the pipe hand, Peas?
Well, now, P's perfect PP is different than a regular person's PP, so I think that I should probably just get an even $10.
You
Because I'm
propose
going to
that
pee
your
anyway.
PP
I
is
got
more
no shame.
perfect
I'll
than
pee
the
whatever
generic
you
PP.
want for $10. I'll pee on you for 50.
I don't want you to
Waist
pee on
down.
me. I want you to pee
I'll
onto the
pee
pipe
all
hand.
over you for $100, but when I'm done peeing, I'm just leaving. I'm not helping with the cleanup or anything. Just out of there. And I think that's a fair pricing scheme.
Yeah, you should see how far you could go with it.
Well,
You're
as you
in
mentioned
Las
earlier,
Vegas,
I
that's
am in Las
legal there.
Vegas,
That's
and if
almost
there was a market
encouraged.
for that kind of process
Peas,
anywhere in
your
the United States, I
urine-
feel like Vegas
your
would be the
urine,
epicenter
Peas.
of said pee profit potential.
Urine is supposedly sterile. Is your PP sterile, Peas?
You know, that's a misnomer. It's sterile as it's expressed from the body, but within seconds of being expressed from the body, it is infused with a plethora of airborne bacteria that then makes it unsterile.
Well, you could say the same thing about a glass of water, right?
A German scientist discovered that, believe it or not.
Okay, a glass of semen then. Why do you keep your semen in a glass?
How do you keep so many men in a glass? I mean, seamen, that could be, it could be 4,000 people on an aircraft carrier, and you're gonna put them all in a glass. What's the size of the glass? Is it a Stein? Is it one of them novelty giant mugs?
Frankenstein.
Is it like one of them giant champagne glasses you see strippers in sometimes? I don't think that you've given the audience enough background information about said activity to really make an educated guess.
Well, that's stupid.
Okay.
Why would you do that? I only say
Have
that
you
because I
ever-
got distracted.
have
I
you ever
read
had
the
to
chat.
pee?
I walked
Let me
away.
ask you, can I ask a personal question to
Me?
RC23 and to you, Argus Fox?
Who you asking?
I'm gonna ask you both. I'd like an honest answer
I
from
can't
both of
even
you. But
hear RC23.
have you ever been, and you could be under the influence of drugs or narcotics, but have you ever been so fucked up where you've decided getting out of your room to go 13 feet to the bathroom is too much trouble and just peed in an empty beer bottle you had in your room and then just put it back where it was when you were done to dispose of later?
Whether
Well, even that's a lot of work if you could just pee in the bed.
But have you done it? That's the question. Have you done that?
like
RC23?
well,
bed?
there's so many there's
You
so
have to
many
be in a bed,
variables.
You're just in your room and
Was
you've
I-
decided for whatever reason going to the bathroom in whatever part of the house it's at is too much trouble, so you just pee in. It doesn't have to be a beer bottle. It could be a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola bottle or even a can. But if you ever just decide too much trouble to go urinate in my pan or my toilet, I'm just gonna pee in this beer / soda can / bottle, and I'll dispose of it later. Either one of you ever done that?
Yeah, it's called a piss jug.
Yeah.
It's
Have
usually like a
you ever
gallon
driven a
container.
truck, Peas? Is that where this is going?
I didn't say. Listen,
You wanna be
it's
big
well
Utah
established that this
peas?
is a trucker's creed, but I'm talking about you're not on the road. There's no bathroom emergency in the sense that your laziness is preventing you from walking the 10 or 15 feet to actually utilize the facility within your own domicile. Now, you both said yes, you've done that. Now, my
No, I
next
didn't.
question is, I'll
I
follow up
didn't
question.
say I did that.
You did. You both alluded to doing it earlier when you discussed other names and non diplomes for doing that said behavior.
No, I
And then
didn't.
specified it. Well, you're talking about, you ever heard of a piss jug? You trucker peas. So you're aware of the concept. But so you both admitted
Oh,
to
because
doing
I've
it
heard
in
of the
house with
concept. Now I'm
parameters that
guilty
I
of
set up.
of having done it. All right.
Listen.
All right. Ask me if I've ever heard the concept of good radio.
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. After relieving yourself into said receptacle, how long have you let that sit in the room before you actually dispose of it in a proper manner? And, you know, we could use normal time frames, like was it a day? Was it a week? Was it so long that the urine actually evaporated out of the container and there was just a thin crust of mold?
It was 20
the
minutes,
essence of
'cause
the
then I
urine
got
in
out
it.
of bed to get something to eat, and then I kicked it over.
That too is an option.
Well, that's not the option. That's what happened.
In relaying that story, it is for one to assume that you have been in this circumstance where getting up to go do something else in another part of the house, no, can't do that. Gonna pee in this here jug or can or
Okay.
bottle.
So yeah, at this point, I've said that I have kicked it over. I have inferred it, but earlier I had not. I had just been
Right.
accused of it by association. You'd
So you
make
see
a
the
great
wiliness of
juror,
the
Peas. How many times have you served in the circuit court, Peas?
Well, in what capacity?
Either side of the bench at this point. When was the last time you saw a judge?
You know, I've actually had a really good run for about, I want to say, 10 years.
Yeah? Well, you know, that sounds like a good number to cap it off at. Have you ever thought about just, you know, giving up? Just
Well, here's
go
the
out?
thing. We've kind of established that it's a normal thing, at least for men to do, and urinate into some kind of receptacle in a room just feet away from a regular bathroom. 'cause
Yes,
they're
through
so
scientific
lazy.
polling, we have determined that every man knows
And if we
this.
can determine that that's a common experience and it's something that men do, then why is it wrong to do that at Walmart?
You can do that do what at Walmart?
You said that was
Urinate in something laying around at Walmart and just leaving it there in the shelf.
'Cause it's
Why
not
can't
yours.
you do that?
You have to bring it with you. If you leave it,
It's America's store, isn't it? And as an American, that means it's partially my store, just like my room is my room. And if I choose to urinate into a bucket or a bottle or a can in my room rather than use the restroom, as an American, I have that God-given right. So why doesn't that extend into the great aspect of America's supermarket like Walmart?
I don't know, plenty of Walmarts that I've been to seem to have a plethora of piss jugs and piss containers of various sizes scattered around their stores in the Florida area.
Well, your Walmart seemed much more exciting then.
Well, if you want to make it exciting about it, I thought it was just more, you know, patriotic.
Do you think if ladies used like one of them lady funnel pee things that they can use for standing up, that they could also pee in their room
I was
into a bottle
modifying
and
that
stuff and
invention
then not
already.
have to deal with
I
the
had
bathroom
heard that
as well?
women had something that made, you know, like a bodily function, like anything. It made it easier for women, and I immediately said that's unfair. And so I worked on something really hard and came up with my own device, which is basically, if you ever had, you remember Play-Doh? You ever eat Play-Doh when you
Yeah,
were a
he was
kid,
a great
Keith?
philosopher.
Yeah, and you would put him into the meat grinder and push down, and then he would come through the little holes in the extruder, and you would have Play-Doh strings.
God, there's so much potential there, and I got nothing.
Well, I took one of those and I duct taped it to my butt, and so now every time I poop, it's like reliving my childhood.
Because you... Oh, precious, precious, precious Dr. Fox.
Oh, was that too much? The last 30 minutes of pee-pee joke?
It takes a second.
Wasn't wasn't anywhere near the quality of my
one. You get a really good visual
show.
at the end when you really think about that.
I didn't even play the pee-pee doo-doo
yellow
song
handle that you squish down to extrude the Play-Doh out of the Play-Doh. What was that called? It was a magical Play-Doh molding machine or something. They had a couple different ones.
Sketty maker. Play-Doh sketty maker. You can make round
you could put like a little person on it, and it would make them look like they had a beard growing,
make
and then
triangle
you would trim it.
sketty. You can do all kinds of sketty.
I can. Whenever I think of your ass shitting out a log, I'm gonna think, oh, that's the Dr. Fox Play-Doh fun machine.
Well, we can't say Play-Doh because. Go ahead, Pete.
There's
say
no
one.
laws during a pandemic, dude. We can say whatever we want.
You're right.
All
There are
bets
no
are
laws.
off.
That's why I was getting ready to start expelling all of these government secrets.
Yeah, you don't have to pay your rent. You
Nope.
can just go in the grocery
This
store
really
and take
is.
what
I
you
mean,
need
I'm
off the
pretty sure
shelves.
this is
a national
1998.
emergency.
It's this is worldwide. This is universe wide. We are looking. You are looking at inevitability. There is no escape from this. The end of time is
I
at
beg
hand.
to differ.
I mean,
There's a potential escape from this.
No, there's not.
I heard it on the Facebook today. If you would just only wash and clean your hands multiple times a day, you might avert contracting this terrible virus.
No,
how can
you
you do
can't.
that, Peas, you might say? Well, I'll tell you, dear friends,
You're
with
doing
Triology
the
soap
commercial
from
already.
TriologySoaps.com in all sort of assorted scents and flavors: spearmint, patchouli, peas Comstock, barbershop, spices and such, shenanigans and hijinks. All of these soap flavors and scents are available to you from our dear good friends at TriologySoaps.com. Each bar at 4+ ounces of pure glycerin soap will bring you enjoyment and hand washing pleasure for weeks to come. TriologySoaps.com.
Okay, now give them the coupon code.
Piss in a pot, Peas.
Go on. Give them the
That's the
coupon
code, dude.
That's the coupon code, and what do you get with that coupon code this week?
Well, what you get with that is and a lot of companies can't afford to do this, folks, but when you put that coupon code in, your 4+ glycerin ounce soap will come with its own cellophane wrapper and uniquely styled label denoting what type of soap it is. I can't believe they're doing this for such a outrageous price.
And I'll tell you what'll make it even better, Peas, because on top of your fantastic offer, you can also go to, what's the name of the website, Peas?
TriologySoaps.com.
A little louder, Peas, into the microphone.
TriologySoaps.com. You know what I just heard, Dr. Fox?
What? What did you just heard?
You know, a lot of people in this kind of environment forget about the hygiene for their other body parts, like their tooths. Well, that's also solved by Triology Soaps because you can get teeth paste. Spearmint flavored teeth paste in a 2+ net ounce awesome container. I think they put it in a little styrofoam cup. Put it in the mail and off to you it goes. But I'm telling you, I can't wait to have the sweet minty breath that spearmint
You think that's how they get it
teeth
to you?
paste would provide for me from TriologySoaps.com.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That's fine.
I was just because you think that's how they get it to them. How do you think we send sticker packs? Just curious. How do you think Hypercube sends sticker packs?
The
Just wondering.
uniformed members of the Hypercube laboratory?
Yeah, how does one of them get a sticker pack out? Those same old stickers.
Well, first of all, It's easy to get stickers. All you've got to do is become a member of our Patreon, and you'll get super awesome, cool care packages sent to you at least once, possibly more, but at least once. And these.
What if they just want to buy the stickers? What if they're already Patreon members and they want to buy stickers? What could they do to get those stickers?
I think they would be shit out of luck. I'm not sure that we offer those outside of being Patreon.
We did so well. That's the mark. You know, I edited Time for the Show over the past 2 days. I had to go back and forth because I had issues. But you know what I spent a lot of my time doing was, while I was amazed at how not as racist you could have been, but I was just downright dumbfounded by how many cusses come out in just, one episode of Time for the Show. But I have to give it back to Peas, because Peas, out of everybody else that's on Time for the Show, does a really good job of not doing all that cussing. And that's nice, Peas. You're nice. But you also didn't tell them that if they use coupon code COVID-19, they get 19% off all bar soap at triologysoaps.com.
Can you get it for the toothpaste too?
No, it's for the bar soap. triologysoaps.com. Go on, try it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We dare you.
Go ahead. Go
We
ahead.
dare you to clean your filthy hands. We dare you.
But there's no reason to clean your hands. That's what we have to get to. They're just getting on the bandwagon, the joke, the big ha-ha. There's no reason to continue worrying like some evil creature is lurking on every surface, ready to pounce and kill you.
Dr. Fox, you're pretty smart and stuff.
I am.
Let me ask you something. What do you think ever happened to Woody Woodpecker?
I believe it was an instance where he mistook a telephone pole for a tree. Well, you're sounding... Is that the end of the joke?
No, it's
Do that again.
No, you'll put it on the soundboard and I'll never be rid of it.
Oh, if you repeat it, we won't put it on the soundboard. But if you say it just once, we can't do it.
Yeah,
no, I'm just thinking.
Not on tape right now.
I'm just thinking to myself.
I'm not even here,
there's Bugs Bunny,
this is a recording.
and that's top tier cartoons.
I'm not even here, Peas. This is a recording.
Then there's the Tom and Jerry, Huckleberry Hound. That's like second tier. But beneath that, but right above Popeye, used to be Woody Woodpecker and Friends. And even though the
Woody
first
Woodpecker
two tiers have survived, and even
Peas.
Popeye has survived, nobody talks about Woody and his woodpecking.
I wonder
or
why
any
that
of his
is.
friends. And I'm just wondering what happened to Woody Woodpecker.
All those episodes are sitting in a vault right next to the old Beetle Bailey.
Good one.
Oh, we definitely
You had to get a couple minutes so you could get your breath back up for one more. Had to come back around to it.
I feel like I might be speaking to an audience that doesn't exist, because as a third tier cartoon and being so far in the past, I'm not sure that most of our listening audience even knows or appreciates the genius that is and was Woody Woodpecker.
What about
Trick Pony, wasn't it?
Well, Woody Woodpecker served such a long and industrious history amongst several cartoon proprietors. Peas.
Really?
And that's a big goofy thing to do. I mean, why would anybody want to follow up with somebody as dull as Woody Woodpecker when you could have all
brightly colored
for a little while?
Oh, I've got some echo coming in the background, I think.
Yeah, it's like somebody
RC23's
is
mic
like
is super
instituting
low.
some sort of time loop. I would hope that he's not instituting some sort of time loop, because that would be entirely
Now, in an
too
emergency
frustrating.
situation like this, it
to
would
come
be
back
irresponsible to institute a time loop.
And so I can't pull that out.
Now, that's something that Woody Woodpecker would have done in his heyday.
When
But I
was-
can't
when
see
was
him
his
being
heyday?
responsible
Was
for
there a
this.
live-action movie?
Yeah, Peas, what about the new 3D Woody Woodpecker movie? Where
Did
he
they
comes
actually
into the
make such a
theater
thing?
and drills
Do you think that when you
right
make a
in
live-action
the
movie about a
pee-pee hole?
cartoon that it's part of canon, or should it be treated as its own unique art form?
What?
Like Sonic?
Yeah, I mean, is that really true to the canon of Sonic? Because it's live action.
What's
You know, it's-
live action?
Oh my god, it was made in 2017.
What's that, sir?
Woody Woodpecker, also known as Woody Woodpecker the Movie, is a 2018 American 3D live-action / computer animated comedy film directed by Alex Zam.
Oh, I wonder how his career's doing.
He probably fell out of a window by now.
Yeah,
Now-
I'm sure it was a short fall from that office.
Let's do another Woody question before we break to our commercial break, song break. But which Woody do you prefer? The long, sharp-billed Woody of the earlier days, or do you prefer the curved-up beak of the modern interpretation of Woody?
I don't know,
The
Peas, which one's
2017
your
version.
favorite?
Well, I'm just saying, like most cartoon characters, he went through an accelerated evolution state where he appears one way in the beginning, and at the end, due to the magic and science of the theory of evolution, totally transforms himself into a different appearing beast, yet with the same name and basically the same genus. You know, he's still a bird.
Yeah, well, he's really more of a cartoon character.
Yeah, Peas.
Based on a
Lighten up.
bird, Reverend Caller 23.
A red-crowned, pileated woodpecker.
Peas.
Now-
Have you ever actually seen a woodpecker in real life?
I got
Those,
videos
like,
of
been
them
up
They
next to
don't-
one?
back
Dude,
in New
those
They
Hampshire.
don't exist.
are huge.
They're big
They
birds.
are like
Yes, there is.
giants, and they will peck your eyes out.
No, they probably wouldn't. They're
They
more
probably
interested in
wouldn't,
pecking
yeah.
the tree to get buggers.
Yeah,
They're
little worms
more
and stuff.
interested in rattling your walls at sunrise. And then you have to
Little
install
known fact,
woodpecker alarms.
but new NFL helmets are based under some of the same physical constraints that have defined by observing woodpecker skulls and how woodpeckers avoid getting concussions from the constant repetition, which is extensive. The force determined by the woodpecker hitting the tree is a really hard force. So they've got what's considered an extra layer of fluid around their little bird brains that isolates the brain and acts as a shock absorber to withstand the shock of repeated blows to the side of a tree to get delicious grub-like substances. And so the NFL, thinking rightfully so, that they should emulate this natural phenomenon, have designed their new football helmets with a liquid type substance in it that will help isolate the brain from contusions and concussions and whatnot. And on that note, folks, let's take a break and listen to our favorite band, the Kinks, perform their outstanding #1 hit here in 2020, 20th Century Man.
And what's the name of the band?
The Kinks.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Here we go.
Oh,
I'm
there's
pushing
the
the
time
button.
loop.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You're listening to Time for the Show, broadcast live on freethinkradio.com. I'm Dr. Fox, and Pease was just reading from us to his big bathroom reader. Not,
The farmer's almanac.
all right. Well, okay. We'll have to try again later. Well, guess we just have to follow back up here. We were on such a slippery slope. I don't know why things were going one way and then things end up going a different way. And who's driving this show? I don't know. I really don't know. What's wrong, Pease?
Huh?
What's going on?
Well, here's the thing. While we were off air for a second listening.
Here, into the microphone.
Okay, well, while I was off air, I talked to Carrots, and she says, representing womankind everywhere, I guess, that $6.75 really isn't enough to pee in a pot. She would hold out for $10. That being said, then I would have to move my whole scale up like $5 from whatever the baseline is. So before I said, oh, well, for $10 you could pick up the pot and pour it on yourself or something like that. But no, it's $10 to have the pot pissed in and an additional $10 to be able to take said pot, which we'll call a pot rental, and then dump the urine from the pot onto yourself. So for $20, you can have, I guess we should name it something. The Kentucky Waterfall sounds like a good idea, but I don't know if it's German enough.
You had
so what,
missed
for
out on
$20?
every aspect of what I was seeking out of the transaction, Pease.
Which was?
So this really isn't the personalized option for me. I'm going to have to say, pass.
Is that a hard pass or a soft pass?
Well, I don't know. Did you know what I was looking for?
I usually do not.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you were able to negotiate, some sort of deal. But it sounds like
progress has been made on the home front. Progress has been made on the home front, that's for sure. And I've got $20, so I'm thinking I'm pretty lucky.
All right. Well, I was checking the chat, and so far they are, I believe, up to $40 to raise the $100 for you to pee onto me.
I think I'm not sure I could participate in that because that would denote some kind of gay aspect to it that I might.
There's
not that
no gay
anything wrong
aspect
with
about
that,
it.
You say no
but
homo
I
first.
might be
You just say
uncomfortable.
no homo.
What's the gay aspect, Pease?
Well, because there's no women involved in our piss transaction.
Well, why is that important?
I feel it would add a heterosexuality to it that I would be more comfortable.
Okay, so you're homo piss phobic. Is that what you're getting at?
I guess that's a thing. And folks, here's the great thing about It's Time for the Show. Only on Time for the Show will you get the latest and most up-to-date social cues and new norms. Only on this show do these kind of activities take place in America.
No, I listened to Howard Stern like 2 days ago, and it was
Did
an
you?
episode from 30 years ago. I think
Did
we're
you listen to
just
that?
now catching up. We're
that's
almost
awful.
there.
Are
We're
you
just now
accusing
catching
me of recycling old played Howard Stern material on the air?
No, I'm accusing you of not using it sooner. That's
Okay.
That's where the problem lies. There's no problem with coming up with material once it gets out. That's what we need. That's what the whole point of the show is. But I don't know. I think tonight was, I guess, Pease's tribute to the Walter Lantz studio. Walk us through the evolution of Woody Woodpecker's niece and nephew. You know their names, right, Pease?
I don't know their names, but I know what they look like because, as it would have it, as a young lad, I had a set of Woody Woodpecker cartoon sheets. And so it was Woody Woodpecker and friends. So Woody would be on the pillowcase, all very majestic, and then all of his friends were on the top sheet that you would fold down and make like a little duvet, and that would have the niece and the nephew and a couple of his emissaries and antagonists, and
Emissaries?
then on the
Who was an
sheet underneath that. And on the sheet underneath that, the fitted sheet, there would just be scattered images of all the characters you'd already seen on the aforementioned pillowcase and upper sheet, scattered about in that fitted sheet pattern that you would see. Now, Woody Woodpecker was not the only cartoon themed sheets that I had, but he did strike the biggest chord in my little boy memories.
Woody Woodpecker did.
The Woody Woodpecker commemorative sheets, yes.
The commemorative sheets. Do you have a certificate of authenticity?
I'm not sure.
Those
I have
those
it in my
are sheets that you
files.
piss with pride. You pee those sheets. You pee those sheets. So you were
Now, here's the
you were a
thing.
huge Woody Woodpecker fan? Is this where you
No, and that's the irony of the whole thing. I had really never.
Your mom just went to the
Before I got
store
the
one
sheet.
day and was like, I gotta find, like, my son keeps wetting the bed. I have to get new sheets all the time. And so she takes your urine-soaked goofy sheets and gives you the Woody, because the Woody Woodpeckers were on sale, Peas, is because that was what was moving. Because they weren't able... Did your parents not have enough faith in you that they couldn't invest in a higher thread count for not only your own comfort, but for the health of your skin and hair? It's a third of your life, Peas. It's a third of your life.
Yeah, I don't
Well, here's the thing.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you.
My grandma would buy the sheets for me. And I had a Peter Pan set. I had a Woody Woodpecker set. I did not have a Bugs Bunny set, strangely enough.
You had a Peter
Maybe there
Pan
wasn't-
set?
Yeah, Peter Pan from Disney.
So every
I
night
had-
you would snuggle up with pictures of young boys? But you won't
Well-
pee on me?
Your Pan was a girl.
I would focus on Wendy more so than the Lost Boys. And Peter Pan, to be truth be known, is not really a boy or even a human for that matter.
Would you let Peter Pan pee on you? Peas? Peas, would
I'd
you let
him
Peter
pee in
Pan
a
pee
pot.
on you, Peas?
I'd let him pee in a pot for $10 because I
No,
don't
I want them. I don't want them to pee into the pot. I want them to pee onto the pie pan, Peas. I want them to pee
I haven't come up
onto
with a
the pie
pricing.
pan. That is what I was
haven't-
going on. And I don't need the urine after it. I don't really even
Well, I think
want
it's
it.
difficult
I'm just
to
looking
get the
for the
urine back.
ASMR, Peas. I just want the hairs on the back of my neck to stand straight up when I hear the urine hit the metal of the pan.
Well, that's $15.
All right, that's
if
where
you're
we
that
need-
much of a specialist, we're raising it to $15.
Well, now that you know what I want, all of a sudden the value becomes so much greater.
A 50% increase.
Look at that. A 50% increase up from where did we start? 650?
Well, no, and if you're going to go with the initial 675,
At 16
which research showed was not appropriate, I was basing my 50%
Per the
on
scientific
$10
research of your
revised.
wife, yes. You have determined that. No, you have determined through authority that women will need at least $10
At least.
before they will pee into the pie pan.
Right. And it is noted that $10, ladies, just so you know that, to be fair,
It's a pure $10.
watch
It's
videos
genuine.
like that,
It's
you
real.
can be behind one of them Japanese screen things and just pee and then leave out a door. No one will see you, and just the pie pan of urine will sit there for the the recipient, the guy who's paying the $10. Now, if he wants to watch
if they
you
want to
pee
do
into
it, no, if they want to do it, I just want to hear it, and I would offer the
Right.
$10. But if they didn't
And
want to
here's the
do it,
thing.
if they didn't want to do it, I'd offer them $20.
Okay, well, so I guess that's
It would be a
lesson to the ladies
completely
to hold
different
out.
sound in the pan, Peas. And that, Peas, is why you aren't paying for pee-pee in the pie pan.
Do you
and
think
I'm
we can make it a delivery
depressed.
service?
Say again?
Could we make it a delivery service? Because that would really maximize.
Just label it as bath
coverage.
Over
water.
and
Yeah.
pee in the pie pan on your front porch.
Yeah, you leave it there, like a milkman, like a delivery service.
Yeah, milkman. I don't want somebody coming over delivering a pie pan on my porch of pee-pee. I want to,
I would want somebody to deliver the pie pan, but then I would want to know that somebody was bringing the pee-pee later.
Right, but then you don't get to hear it. So maybe with the delivery of the pie pan of pee-pee, you could get an MP3 of the pee being peed into the pie pan.
How much does that cost, Peas?
$35.
Or you can visit timefortheshow.com and subscribe now. That was a quality show, Peas. You did really good. You ready to apologize and shut it down?
I think that I might be.
Really? You're just gonna walk out all like that? You're not gonna fight with me and say, "No, Dr. Fox, we can't just stop doing the show now. I'm only getting warmed up."
Well, no, I don't say that because I know that the best parts of the show come after I get off of the show. So I'm hoping that by apologizing quickly, it will enable people to have more fun show after Peas is gone to work on his piss in a pie pan plot to prevent pornography.
It's not pornography, it's love.
It can be.
Do you see, Peas? Do you
it's
see,
funny. You know why it's funny?
Peas?
Because my name is Peas too. So now the whole hour seems like it has a different level to it. That's so clever.
It's like,
Hold on,
yeah,
people. He's
Do you
evolving.
see-
Adapting.
Peas.
I peer across the prism
You peer across?
and pose.
It's funny how
and
that
ponder.
one letter changes it so dynamically. Peer.
God damn it! You let me finish right.
Oh, you want me to let you
Soliloquy.
finish something?
I'm gonna do a whole word soliloquy of the words and start. Show me what you got.
Are you what? You gonna do a a thing? What are you gonna do? You gonna
Well, no,
apologize?
it's gone now.
Are you gonna
It was
apologize? I think you owe
I
me an
will
apologize.
Well, I have two things to apologize for.
Okay, we'll make them a minute and 15 seconds long apiece.
Okay, well, I apologize for pondering upon Peas' piss pot plan for too long. Maybe I should have limited the piss pot plan to peruse the ladies and understand their propensity for pondering the pissing in pots. And would it be profound to say that it might have been partially sexist? One can't tell, but it seems to warrant an apology of ponderous proportions. I'd also like to apologize for the brevity of the activities of tonight's show that involved the Peas. But as Peas ponders his piss pot plans, he needs to understand that everything isn't always about pissing in a pot. Sometimes it's just about listening to the pissing in the pot that's important to the person. Well, folks, that's it. I apologize for the show and anything that I didn't participate in the previous segment or the possible future segments. Consider to be apologized for as well.
Well, you made it, Peas. I guess that's it. All right, so that's the end of Time for the Show forever. We're not doing any more of these.
Really?
Thanks for the money.
Till next week.
We're shutting it down. You didn't get your stuff in the mail. Too bad. And as always, thanks, Peas.
Thank you, Dr. Fox.
Say thank you-
RC23.
Say thank you to Free Think Radio, Peas.
Thank you, three. Thank you, freethinkradio.com. And I would thank Triology Soaps again, but fuck those people, man. They already got their plug.
Oh man, that's 2 tonight, Peas. You're par for the last show. All right. Well, you're listening to Time for the Show. When we come back, I don't know, some of that stuff I was talking about, we'll see. Stay tuned. You're listening to Time for the Show. Boop. Broadcasting live here in Hypercube's super cozy sub-basement studio 27. This is Dr. Fox, and it's time for those Patreon shout-outs. Let me just bring it on right up here on my big old view screen. I'll read you out a couple of them fancy names that you boys like so much. So I do understand, and I got a notice from a few of the people on the Patreon. I understand that times are tough right now, and I appreciate you supporting us. And Hypercube always supports those that have supported us in those times of supporting, when the support was warranted for, you know, stuff that needed supporting. And you guys help us out a lot. And this week, special extra bonus thanks to Triology Soaps, our sponsor. Use the COVID-19 coupon to get 19% off on bar soap. Dr. Cosmac, big mysterious executive producer in the sky, and Reverend Codeine, Scalpod, Count Sloth, Caller 23, Apostle Expanord, Martha Artha, and Rethink Radio, Agent Lloyd, Reverend Negative, and Hazel of the Windmills. Next month will be the big monthly shout-outs that you get. You'll grease up your ear holes. Help out old Dr. Fox. We are looking at redoing a couple of things with the quote bitchin' internet unquote that we'll be able to save a couple of bucks with, and possibly even sneak a phone in. But now is not really the time that we're going to be looking at creating too many new subsystems. We are looking at throttling back. You know what I'm saying? But Hypercube is, like I said earlier, it has been deemed a non-essential service by that government. And we're like, boo! But, you know, we're working on it. We're going to be fine. However, there are things that we do want here and there and don't really have the funds to do so. So, you know, if you want to help us out, you can head on over to timefortheshow.com and click the subscribe button and help get our numbers up. That's really what I want, is for the numbers to go up. And out of the need, I understand if you guys gotta think about signing up right now, but if you head over to patreon.com/hypercube and you sign up now, we'll make sure that you get a sticker pack out, and there's new stickers that are going into it. And I'm in a series of waves of getting the mail out. It's behind, of course, because it's me and I'm bad at it, so I continue to apologize at it. But the next wave of mail is going out. I believe the last 2 have been received, so I got the next 2 coming up, and it's learning about how to get this process moving through. But some of these are kind of weird boxes, and the shipping on them, not the most affordable option, really. But it's coming out to basically last Patreon's commitment is going out just for postal fees on this next month. But it's to say thank you to everybody that's helped us out. And the first wave was going out to people that supported Hypercube back at the Begathon last year when we had to keep the servers up. We couldn't afford it. We was dying. But now we're thriving. And here in the age of quarantainment, we're here to provide to you the most comprehensive and just meticulously selected pieces of multimedia to constantly beam into your neocortex. So you should check out all the things that we have to offer. Currently, I've been wasting a lot of time on SlackTube. If you have heard of SlackTube and you remember it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, because SlackTube is a deadly place to drain all of your life force into. And Hypercube would like you to do that and support us in that. Give us bits of your soul by going to slacktube.hypercubego.com, and you can watch internet videos with your favorite furloughed subgeniuses. And it's free! And we actually have some stuff coming up there tonight. The Fazonk has come in and actually put a couple of movies in. And Dr. Cosmac has been curating a best and worst of MST3K marathon that we've definitely watched a lot of. And that's why it took me 2 days to edit the last episode of Time for the Show. But that's going up, and so that means I will be able to get this month's $5 over to archive.org. So if you've got an extra couple of bucks, I got food on my shelf if you want to give it to your friend or on your charities right there. You know, don't forget archive.org is sponsoring Time for the Show by hosting, unknowingly, our podcast files. Or freethinkradio.com. Check out their Patreon and subscribe to the other shows on the network there. This basically becomes a big commercial. Just listen to Free Think Radio. I can sit here for the next 10 minutes to tell you about shows that are coming up, but that's besides the point. But what's besides the point is that you need to listen to Free Think Radio. This is the essential part. This is going to be where you're going to get all of the information. This is where you're going to be on the cutting edge of the techno wave, because what's happening right now is unprecedented across the globe. As this scam-demic continues, people across the planet being ordered to stay inside and fear for their lives out of contamination. But as you see, you don't have it. Nobody you know has it. But if they think that they have it, isn't it going to be funny when it turns out that, oh, they just had the flu?
Yep.
The pawns in the multimedia across the world, the Tom Hankses and the Vin Diesels, they're saying, I got it. And you're going to look at them like a hero. That's what you're going to do. You're going to admire these people for living through this terrible tragedy. All the meanwhile, you're going to miss what's really happening outside. Because at this very moment, Earth is being constantly bombarded, buzzed by intergalactic beings. Hypercube has not been able to establish whether these are crafts, or whether these are actually like entities that are moving past our atmosphere. There are possibly hundreds, if not thousands, of interstellar beings that we're being invaded right now. And if people were to find out about this, if they were to realize that the mass of humanity was to actually realize that for the most part they're wrong about things, that there could be something else, that maybe they should work together on something, wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good. No, not for the people who claim to be in charge. Because as you can see now, they are not clearly in control. Charge they may have control. No. They do not have that. And that is what they're attempting to do. This is all they've ever known, is to just frighten and mislead and to scare. But you're going to know the difference, because you felt it, you knew in your gut that something was going on here, and you were right.
Yeah, and also you look up and you see the alien crafts invading. If you dare step out of your house, I mean, you can see it pretty much clear as day.
But people, they don't want to go outside. They're
Yeah, I know,
fearing
because if you look up,
fearing
there's
the
aliens
air
invading.
because there's not enough fluid in the air. Where's the fluid, caller?
Well, air is a fluid.
Where is all of the fluid? Where are we going to put the fluid once it gets here?
You know, that's
I've
a good
learned that I
question.
was grossly unprepared. I did not store enough fluid before
You know,
we
and
were
it's interesting,
cordoned
you know, because in this time of
illegally.
peril, it is time to consider our precious bodily fluids and people that would contaminate them with garbage and chemicals and mitochondria and good drugs even. You know, those are my precious fluids.
And they're
Don't
just
you be
taking them away
contaminating
from
them with
you.
alien schlorp.
And there's nothing anybody can do about it. They're gonna make you think that you have the flu when in reality you done got jizz scubbed. You got alien jizz scubbed.
Again.
Again.
You know, it always happens to the working man. Getting alien jizz scubbed again and again.
Oh, that gosh darn scub. What are we gonna do about all this scub? I know what we're not gonna do. I'm gonna wipe that segment off the board, and I'm gonna wipe that segment off the board since I guess P's really only wanted to do an hour. But you know, it's an emergency situation here. You know, we should be doing time for the show 24 hours a day. I shouldn't be walking away. I should just glue myself here and do everything live just to let you guys know that I'm okay. It would make me feel better if all of you knew that I was okay. How do you feel about that, caller?
I'm interested in making sure that you feel okay.
Well, the only way that I'm going to feel okay is that I know that you know that I want you to think that I am feeling okay.
Yep, and the only way that I can think that you are feeling okay, the only way that I can know that I'm thinking that you're feeling okay, is if you keep telling me 24 hours a day, right here on Free Think Radio.
Well,
There's
caller,
really no other choice. I mean, you have to sit here all day, all night, if that's what it takes, and just tell me, whisper in my ear gently, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Well, I can't.
I'm okay.
I can't do that right now, caller.
Well, you're doing it right now.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not okay.
I'm not okay. I am not okay.
This is not okay.
This is not okay. And I am not okay. And so by letting you know that I am not okay, that makes me even more un-okay.
Well, you should probably not tell me that you're not okay then, and just tell me that you are okay, so that I feel better at least, so that one of us feels better.
Would you want to feel better, or would you want me to feel better? Because the outcome would be dependent on which one of us starts feeling better next, I suppose.
Well, you know, if you tell me that you're feeling better, then that'll make me feel better, even if you don't really feel better. But my feeling better may make you feel better, so it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So lies could make yourself feel better.
Yeah, lies are the only truth.
Lies are the only satisfying truth. Ooh, hold on. I'll push the... Yeah, get your asses up on that one. Only got 2 bits left. I got Proving Grounds and Is It a Band? and then after that,
then it's back to slack tube.
Then it's back to slack tube, and then it's back to the rest of quarantainment life. It's fun being locked in an underground laboratory with your wife and infant charge, day in and day out.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have been complaining about that. They're like, oh, quarantine, day 2, and they're already, like, shaving their heads and putting on camouflage and shit. Dude, am I the only one that, like, doesn't have a problem with this? Like, I got plenty of stuff to do around
pretty
here.
well. I've been, the floors are pretty clean.
My yard's looking good.
Yeah. You went out and did some yard work, too?
Yep.
I went and raked
like
some
everyone else.
leaves.
Yep, raking them leaves.
Just pulled
It's
them
that
all
time.
over. It's you know, that's where you kind of that might make me feel okay, knowing that this is really the slack apocalypse. You know, being told to stay home and you're gonna get
Yep.
paid for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like, I don't see any problems here.
if you're gonna die, send them all home and give them a few months rent. It's okay, we'll get it back, you know.
Exactly.
But we'll
With all
do the
insurance
right
policies.
thing, and we'll
Yeah,
make them all feel good before it goes out. So this is it. You know, I tried to warn everybody, but this is basically it. You're going to die. This is how it's going. So you've got one way of looking at it. You can either go get a job as an essential worker and start wrapping burgers, or you can quit that job that's already sent you home, take your free money from the con that they're gonna bleed out to you, and just ride it out. Slacktacular. The worst that could happen is happening. The world ends in just a matter of days.
Yep.
Maybe even tomorrow.
So here, enjoy this loading dose on your way out.
Exactly.
Enjoy the stimulus shot right before we give you the sodium pentothal or whatever.
Yeah, looks like everything's gonna ramp up, and we should start normalizing around the first week of July. You know, right around
what then? Like around the 3rd or
around like the 6th or the 8th. Something like that, you know. And like really, you know, like early July, it looks like everything's gonna be okay. So quit your job, slack off. Everything's fine. And once you slack off, don't forget who helped you out at patreon.com/hypercube when you get your free money for quitting your job. Make sure to send it to patreon.com/hypercube and get you some stickers. Get some stickers. I heard caller 23 you're throwing some magical bonus decals into the sticker packs.
Yeah, we got some WTF Did I Just Show stickers in each sticker pack.
Fantastic. And I just received an order that, despite the efforts of the conspiracy, because, surprise, they took my money, that the Hypercube don't think decals are coming and should be here within the next week. So, if you
turns
order,
out stickers are an essential service.
you gotta have them stickies. So new Don't Think stickies will come out. So I was already offering send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Hypercube Labs, P.O. Box 4304, Winter Park, Florida 32793, and I will get you some stickies, a couple stickies for you, just a short amount, because we're going to basically use that trove of stickies to raise funds for, you know, Hypercube's normal day-to-day BS operations. outside of the scope of food and the air conditioning. But hey, we have air conditioning, and I think we're just gonna. We have air conditioning.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at the big screen here. I'm Dr. Fox. You're listening to Time of the Show. The next segment is Proving Grounds.
Show me what you got.
It's pretty easy. I'm going to go through the headlines on news.google.video.net.com. And you can follow along with me. It started being a good bit, and I enjoyed it, but then every headline turned out being about the same thing. Wink, wink.
Huh. The Kardashians again? I thought they resolved that shit with Taylor Swift. It's still all over the news.
So let's see what we got here. And so I actually have to scroll down because now I have to start looking. I didn't look earlier, and that's what I get. Illinois governor says feds sent wrong type of protective medical masks.
Pritzker. That guy's a Pritzker. What's his name?
I don't know. I didn't get that far into it.
Illinois governor, he's like a Pritzker or something. He's a prickster.
All I got was like they have to return the supply to the local Spirit Halloween store, and that's. Oh no, that's supposed to be for good ones. That was not a. Let's go ahead and just sad. All right, what else we got? Okay. Hey, check it out. Dave Chappelle on coronavirus. Quote, I don't even know if this exists. So Dave Chappelle's woke to the hypercube message. It's coming. All right.
Yep.
Florida megachurch pastor arrested over COVID-19 services. Apparently,
Florida pastor arrested over Kool-Aid 19 services.
Thank you, caller 23. Oh, check this out. Anger as Las Vegas turns parking lot into homeless shelter. Local Jeep club has to find new place to park.
Right.
Yeah, because Pisa's a Jeep. All right, what else we got here? Inside Central Park's emergency field hospital, tensions are high, so hang out next to the zoo. Oh, my wife chuckled at that one. Mexico's president greets El Chapo's mom and lawyer, ignoring coronavirus rules. They actually handed the head and the bag to each other without wearing gloves. That was a good one. Thank you, Dr. Fox.
Yeah.
Hungary's Viktor Orban gets sweeping powers under coronavirus bill. Because Hungry Viktor Orban sounds like a great Tyson dairy product. There. I'll give a toot to myself for that one. And you got anything for that one?
No, I missed that one a little bit.
Okay. Orlando theme parks giants are closed, but we recall their simple pleasures, such as paying $5 for sugar water. All right. Hey, it's got air conditioning. Orlando tracking to be driest, hottest on record for March, says your mom is a nice lady. Oh, no. Macy's, Gap, and Kohl's furlough employees at closed stores during coronavirus shutdown will use child labor to fill in the gaps. Yeah, we'll do that one because we'll say it's calling attention to a global issue. Don't buy things from China. Ford to build 50,000 ventilators in 100 days. Those 50,000 Ford Focuses, you'll need to go get your own air filters. Next 100 days. Nintendo Switch 2020 lineup dominated by Mario games, old and new.
Yeah, you're a gamer, right? I liked Mario 64.
Buy more Mario games. You're dying at home. See, Nintendo gets it. Nintendo's woke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nintendo's an essential service.
Neural implants plus AI turns sentence-length thoughts to text. Attaches to Twitter, battles president. Planet
Yes.
Computers Astro Slide offers a sliding keyboard, inconspicuous name for masturbating to. Cardi B stands Tiger King Joe Exotic and wants him out of prison. What? Should have honked that one. I don't even want to read that one. Okay. All right, what else we got? After recovering from COVID-19, Sean Payton hopes his plasma can help others. Asked to donate.
Yeah, he's gonna donate some plasma. $6 if he donates it into a
$6.75 for your plasma, Sean Payton, and $7 to anybody that can tell me what sport Sean Payton plays. Okay. Nobel laureate. Oh, how do you say it? You're a fancy college boy, right? Laureate? Laureate?
Yep. just
Noble.
laureate.
Nobel? Noble. Nobel. Laureate?
Laureate.
Nobel laureate and Princeton physicist Philip Anderson dies at 96.
Yeah. Coronavirus, I imagine. I don't know what's funny about that, but
Condensed matter physics pioneer Philip Anderson dies age 96. Well, it's glad that he was in such a great field that would take up so little room on a headline. Sorry, buddy. It's just a joke. Tree rings could pin down Thera volcano eruption date. Onion rings could pin down my eruption date. Yeah! Now we're
Yeah, look at that. That's a triple.
Back in Florida, Orion capsule nears readiness for Artemis test flight.
Good luck.
That's it. That's all you got. All right. NASA has good news after SpaceX crew Dragon parachute test accident. Next time with people in it, it'll be twice as scary. It's a war without bullets. First-hand accounts from healthcare workers battling coronavirus. America realizing why they are vastly underprepared. And that is Proving Grounds. Thank you, caller 23. You got a couple good chuckles in there. And let's see what's going on floating around here. I could barely hear anybody in the hypercom tonight. So for that reason, because everything sounds like garbage and I don't care to fix it, we're 90 minutes in. By the time I got it run, we'd be done with it anyway. So I think that's Is It a Band tonight. I will say that I won by 1 point. Very good. Scalpod and Cosmac will get that one. So, my name's Dr. Fox. You've been listening to Time for the Show, a production of Hypercube Laboratories, a magical place where you can send your money to and then prepare to die. Visit hypercubego.com and get a sticker pack. Then go to triologysoaps.com. Buy some soap. COVID-19. Get you 19% off bar soap. Subscribe to the show at timefortheshow.com. Available on many multimedia platforms for your magical handheld meat device. I'm happy that you made it here, and I wish that you continue listening to the fine programming on freethinkradio.com. You lucky boy, you. All right, bye-bye.